All right, so we're here with our 2024 Lexus IS 350 F Sport, and we are about to do the second oil change, and we want to see if we're continuing to see the kind of metal debris we saw on the first oil change. And if you would like to see that video, I'll put a link to it up here somewhere toward the end of the video, and you can go watch that. We're also going to talk about what we have with a cracked windshield that happened the other day, and we're going to talk about what they want to do at the dealership at the 5,000 mile inspection, which we are at 5,000 miles, and this will be our second oil change. So I'm going to get in here and get busy. So we have the oil filter draining out through the little access hole that they provide that you can take out. I show you that in the first video that I did on the oil change on this thing. But what I have noticed on the first oil change and this oil change, I think our first oil change was 16 or 1800 miles. This one is a little less than 3,000 miles. And this oil gets really dark, really fast in this engine. While I do know dark oil is not a litmus test for whether or not it is still protecting your engine or not, and you must test it to know. I just know that the oil gets very dark very fast, and I cannot even fathom or imagine what it would look like if you tried to run this engine oil in this engine for 10,000 miles. All right, let's get a look down inside this filter housing. You can see kind of right down there in the bottom, where it's picking up a little bit of the glitter. It's kind of hard. It is very difficult to see, but the glitter is there. It is less than it was last time, so we're going to go with that maybe it's improving at this point, and that it is still some new metal wear, engine break-in that has not quite gotten flushed out just yet. So we're going to dump this pan. This is the first bit out of the engine oil pan, and we're going to dump it down the main drain pan, most of it, and we're going to leave a little bit in the bottom so that you can tell, we can kind of get a look and see if there's any glitter in that oil. All right, so we started out with a clean stainless steel bowl here, and I don't see any glittery sheen in the oil at all. It looks like we have some speckles of dirt that I think I may have actually knocked into the bowl accidentally from taking that pan down. But in the oil, well, now that I have it down to a thinner level and you can see into the oil, let's try changing our light profile here. The oil itself does not appear to have any glittery sheen to it at all, so that is a positive. The last time we changed the oil at it was either 16 or 1800 miles, the oil did have a metallic sheen to it. So for now, we're going to say that it's an improvement. Now, let me get this buttoned up, and we're going to come back and talk about the other things that we had to talk about. All right, so to summarize our second oil change, let's just say that for now, everything looks like it's going to be doing okay. We did see a little bit of small metallic particles in the oil filter housing, but no metallic sheen in the oil like we did on the first oil change. So we're going to continue on, and we're going to continue to monitor to see if we're getting any metal in our oil. On oil changes, on that last video, I learned something. And to say you can teach an old dog new tricks, I guess you can. I had never investigated looking into getting an oil filter an original OEM oil filter from the dealer. And somebody came in and commented on that video, and they told me exactly how much an oil filter cost. And I went, baloney. Guess what? I called the Toyota Lexus dealer. An OEM factory filter from the dealership is $6. I think O'Reilly's was getting like $14 for this filter. So for the cost of less than one of those, I got two from the dealer the other day when my wife was in getting the windshield checked out for the crack that we have. And that's what we're going to talk about next, the crack in the windshield. But need an oil filter? $6. Head down to your dealer. There we go, boys and girls. The windshield took a nice hit from a rock and cracked it. And a crack of that length and size generally cannot be repaired. And let me stop for a second, get turned around here, and I'll tell you what's going on with it. Cracks in windshields happen, and it seems to be we get more than our fair share here in central Mississippi. Wife was riding down the interstate, was in the center lane, and was about to be passing an 18-wheeler that was in the right-hand lane, and he felt like he was trapped behind a slower car. She said that all of a sudden he saw that there was just enough gap in between her and the car in front of her, and he whipped over into the middle lane, and when he did, rock flew, came up, popped the glass, and well, here we are. It kind of is what it is. So called, made an appointment at the dealer, the Lexus dealer. We have the extended glass coverage. When we purchased the vehicle, they told us that the glass for this vehicle with installation glass and all was about $1,400. So that's what we were told. So we opted to go ahead, knowing the problems that we have here in Mississippi, to get the extended glass coverage. And we got the car at the end of November, and so you got December, January, and February. We've had it a good 3 months and already got a rock ding. So like I said, we had an appointment. She carried the vehicle in to get the appointment for them to look at the glass, start the claim on the glass. They're going to order the glass and will let us know when it's in, and we will make a schedule to take the car in and have the glass changed. That is the size of that. After we get the glass changed, if there's any problems with having it done or any hiccups in the road, we'll come back and I'll do a video and let you know anything to be looking out for when you take your car in to get the glass done at the dealer. I don't think there's going to be any problem. Sometimes you just never know. All right, so on the 5,000 mile, 6-month recommended maintenance, it says to rotate tires, which on this vehicle is not applicable because the tires do not need to be rotated. They're two different sizes. Check the installation of the driver's floor mat, which we all know about the nearly $2 billion lawsuit. They're always checking those floor mats. Inspect the brake linings, drums, and brake pads and discs, which are easily seen through the wheels. Reset the maintenance reminder light, which I will do here in just a few minutes, and we'll show you how. They also offer Program Plus personalized settings if requested, which we do not need, and I already know how to do if it is required. Perform road test on the vehicle, which I often do frequently to make sure that there's nothing wrong with the vehicle. Inspect our wiper blades, very easy to do. Make sure that they're effectively cleaning the windshield and to make sure that they are not ripped or torn. And the last thing that you will do on this list is fuel additive treatment, and it is not required on pretty much any vehicle here in the United States. The only thing you really need to do is to make sure you're using a good quality top tier fuel and use the premium unleaded 91 octane or above. Now, let's get in here and we will reset the maintenance reminders. All right, this is the first time that I have had to go through and set the maintenance reminder on this vehicle. And of course, I did have to get into the owner's manual. So now that we have completed and inspected our brakes and a few of the other things that are on that inspection list, we are going to go through and reset the maintenance reminders on this vehicle. So first thing we have to do, you see at the top there's the back arrow, so we need to go back to where we can get to the information we need. Then we can press to the right on the right side steering to the square, and you have right arrows and up and down arrows. We're going to go to the gear icon, and we're going to scroll down. You continue to scroll down till we get to vehicle settings, and we're going to press the button in the middle, and that is enter. We'll continue to come down, and then you have schedule maintenance, and you press and hold, and it will ask you reset data, and then you press and up arrow to yes, and then press and hold in the center right here. Now, one more down beyond that is a separate oil change reminder setting. Let's go back. It keeps wanting to go back to that screen. So let's press and hold oil maintenance reminder. Reset data. Yes. Press and hold. Reset is complete. So I have reset the maintenance reminder and the oil change reminder since I have already done both. So let's see if I can get this setting back to what my wife had it on, because she will have me, she will be upset with me if I don't get it back. And I think she had it on information, and that way when she's driving it'll tell her range to empty. All right, so this is our second oil change in 5,000 miles. We're going to keep an eye on what's going on inside this engine by monitoring the oil. If it gets to a point that I think I need to test it, I will get a test kit and I'll send it off and have it analyzed and see what's going on, because that's truly the only way to really know what's going on inside your engine, is to test and evaluate. So we're about to go on a trip, and I wanted to get this done before that happened. Well, we run out of daylight, and that's okay. This coming weekend, time change. So in our next video, my wife and I are going to discuss 5 things that we really love about this Lexus IS 350. So while you're waiting for us to do that video, why don't you go watch another one coming on the screen right now.